This is not just about statistics. We have to remember the humanity of these women. We have to tell their stories.
Say your name. Say your name.
So often, when people are talking about MMIW issues and the crisis, they talk about statistics. And while the numbers are atrocious and important to talk about, it tends to dehumanize the actual individuals and the families that this is affecting. A few years ago, I was attending a vigil and sitting with a mother of a murdered teenager. And I felt very useless and hopeless in the situation. And I asked her, what can I do to help? I'm not missing anyone. I'm not necessarily part of the community in the same way, but what could I do to help her and her family? And she said, showing up. Just continue to show up. Continue to say my daughter's name. Continue to talk about the women in our community who are missing, who have been murdered, who have yet to find justice. That's what you can do, and tell other people to show up. And so I made a promise to her that I will always, always say Aisha's name. I will always tell her story, and I will always show up. And so to the very best of my ability, that's what I'm doing. And this year at the NAIITS Symposium, I had the opportunity to fulfill that promise in a different way by working with some of my friends and colleagues in the NAIITS community to put together a display where people can interact with the stories of the women who are missing and learn about the statistics. Inadvertently, one of the stories we featured this year at the symposium was the family member of someone in our community. And they came up to me afterwards and were moved beyond words that we would remember their cousin, that we would tell her story, that we would say her name, even though to us we didn't know the connection, but someone remembered her name and someone humanized her and someone told her story, not just of the tragic thing that happened, but that she had a favorite tree at the end of her driveway that she liked to sit in. And that was part of what we wanted to do, was humanize the women whose stories we told. Remind people that they were full, loving, lovely people who are missed by a community. The enormous scale of murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls can be overwhelming, and we can't forget the number, but we also have to remember the faces. We have to remember the children, the mothers, the daughters, the women that our communities are missing, whose wisdom and laughter and warmth we don't feel anymore because they've been taken from us. This is why telling these stories is so important. And so while we learn the statistics, let us never forget their names, never forget their faces, never forget their loved ones who are still holding on to hope that there will be justice served, that the rest of the world will remember that this person existed and mattered. And that's part of why we did what we did this year at Symposium, by telling the stories of murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls.